Now, there's some negative around the NWHL. It's a little old, the story now, so we don't have to spend a shit ton of time on it. But
No. It's still developing, though.
It's still, yeah, you know what? That's the thing, is it's old, but it's still kind of going, and it won't die.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, Barstool and the NWHL were in a war, are currently still in a war over some comments made by both some of the writers for the NWHL and Erica Nardini, the CEO of Barstool. I don't really like taking a stance on this one because I think both sides are really wrong for what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think the NWHL is in a spot where they can start turning down fans already.
I just think it's really, it's not the headline that you want leading, like the Toronto Six having their inaugural season, that's what you want to lead the storyline, the fact that they're still playing, that there's a tournament going on, that's what I want to be talking about. That's what I want to be reading about. I don't want to hear, go on my YouTube and there's Biz making an apology out and, saying, hey, we support.
It wasn't so much of an apology as it was.
Okay, but he's still saying, we support. Even still, though, it's almost like one of those apology messages. You come out and you have to explain what just happened. You don't want that. You want to see the highlights of it and the actual, oh, hey, next week it's so-and-so versus so, that type of headlines.
Now,
you don't want.
I get it. If you're the NWHL, because I understand the feeling of Barstool. And you know what? There's a lot of times where I agree. There's a lot of people at Barstool that fucking suck. And the head honcho man himself, king of it. Terrible person.
Oh.
You don't have to search too far to realize what he's done in his time there, to realize he's an absolute trash bag human being. And do not come at me with the fucking Barstool fund, because that is a tax write-off for him when he donated and a way to look good by other people donating to him. That's nothing. Don't give me that. I love it. I love what they're doing, but he's a shit person. There's guys like KFC, absolute trash bag person. He does the Minuteman thing, and he was talking about, so this is the worst thing, is he came out in defense of Erica saying, oh, we're not this and we're not that. And he proceeded to, he was saying they're not misogynistic, they're not racist, they're not this. He proceeded to go forward with the most misogynistic piece you could do. And, you're being what you're telling me you're not in that piece, you fucking idiot.
Right.
There's guys like that ruin Barstool. And that's fine. I get it. If you have that opinion, you don't have to watch Barstool. But Erica Nardini, not that bad of a person. Seems like it. Her attitude's kind of weird. But she's never said a bad thing about anyone. And she's doing what she can to support the NWHL. So I respect the hell out of that. But I can see why the NWHL wouldn't want to associate it with the guys like Dave and KFC that pull that type of shit. And there's a long list. I just don't follow enough to care. But when you have guys at the top like that, I can see where the issue is. But if you're the NWHL and you have someone like Erica Nardini, who is a woman CEO and is pushing hard for women's sports to a demographic that is mainly sports fans, yes, some of them suck. I understand. But they are sports fans, and they're going to bring people to your sport and to your league.
Yeah, they're going to bring a lot of attention and a lot of connections. Even like Barstool's got a lot of connections. They have a lot of different episodes of things and how many people they know just from people they've employed, right? So yeah, it's a big dragon to face for your first battle.
Yeah, there's a reason that the NHL hasn't denounced Spittin' Chicklets, is because they've made hockey cool for a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely. And they give you that in-depth, all the stories. People love the stories. People love the behind the scenes, and it goes in line with players becoming people.
Yeah. I would love to sit there and listen to these NWHL players talk as people to know what they are, because right now I barely know them as athletes.
One of the greatest things that I think helped the UFC get a lot of traction was the Ultimate Fighter. And that was bringing these guys in to compete for a contract, but then it shows you who they were.
It's like a reality show where you get to see the people.
Right. You got to see who they were and why they were there, what they were fighting for, and you actually started to understand them. How many people watch the YouTube sound bites of the Super Bowls of everyone mic'd up and stuff because they want to get the behind the scenes. They want to know what's going on there.
What's that show that had the Browns on it a while ago? The NFL one.
The NFL one.
I forget what it's called, but they basically did that whole thing on the Browns for the entire year.
Dude, Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks. You do stuff like that. All those type of shows. They're like, wow, you know what? I like these guys.
They love it.
It gives you a reason to follow them, and that's
the Raptors in the bubble. They were cool like behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, that's what it brought. Yeah, it gave you that connection.
At some point, I know it's Barstool, and I get it. Well, I get if you hate Barstool, but I think at some point you got to see some of the people that do work there and disconnect them from the company that they work for. Because I know there's a lot of people in regular jobs that work for absolute dog shit human beings that aren't going to leave their job because it's a job that pays them.
But morals,
no different if you're in that what do you call it? In that line of work.
Morals are a real hard thing to fight, especially right now. Like when you're trying to make a statement and stick by it, and like this day and age, I completely agree with the NWHL. Like for just coming in and saying, "Look, we're sticking to our guns here. We don't care what the
ton of respect for it. Good luck." But
what the backlash is, but we're still going on.
It's tough. It's weird.